Hey everyone, apologies for that. We're not sure what just happened. Give us a thumbs up if you're still with us. Thank you for joining us back. Uh, Appreciate that. Really apologize. Not sure what just happened with Zoom. Shawan, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here, Emil.
Thank you. Thank you. Looks like we have some our folks joining back in. So we apologize for that, folks. Shawan, do you want to kind of
Yes,
wrap up
let me share
where
my
you
screen
were?
and I will
Thank you. And if
continue.
anybody were asking any questions and your questions were not answered, please go ahead and re-ask. We seem to have lost the version of that. Please use that Q&A feature. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience and apologize from my side as well. So we were talking about the resourcing. So resourcing for the resource assignment, you do have a toggle button. If you turn it off, you will not see the resourcing window. If you turn it on, you will have an additional window where you can see all your resource allocations. To ask for the resource, you do have an option to add the resource. You can pick up what kind of group is what we call, or the pool in general you are going to pick, and then the number of FTE you need as part of this request, and it is going to create a resource request and start going to create the different asks across the duration depending on the start and the end date. I will talk about the resource management workspace quickly over here, because when these requests are going to get into the resource manager's queue, to take care of that, as a resource manager, I do have a different workspace. So here, if I open one of the resource cards is what we call, it is going to give me the list of all the resources and list of open requests. Here I will just to highlight these two requests I have raised for the HR pool, one for the 1FT, one for the 0.550. So this is a place I'm getting the request, and I do have an option to assign the work. I can pick up the resource and hit the assign button. So this is how you can request the resources. You can get them allocated to work on your project. Moving on, the financials. Financials is a place, as I mentioned earlier, you do have an option to plan your costs, to identify how much budget you have, and to track your expenses as well. Just for the demo purpose, I have group them in the capex as well as the opex. So here you see in the capex, I do have some of the costs which are nothing more of my resourcing costs. But if you look at the numbers, everything is coming over here as zero because I do not have any rate cards available in the system, which is going to help me populating the costs. But on the other side, if you look at these two, I have something, the new operating cost, where I have the plan cost of somewhere around 18K. Now, in this place, you do have an option where you can create your new cost plan. Okay, let's say the licensing cost. I just want to have one. What would be the duration for that? I can select the duration. I'm going to start with the FY25, and let's say from Jan till FY25. I would like to have till December. And then the unit cost, let's say I'm going to say 200K, and the number of quantity, I'm going to have 100. How do I want to do the cost distribution? Do you want to do it the split as a equal across the period or the recurring? Here I'm going to have the same across the period. It is going to be the same. And then I say this is going to be my software OPEX and save. Once I do that, you should be able to see I'm going to have a new line item over here, the licensing cost. This is nothing more of my plan cost, and it is going to contribute the plan cost over here. At the same time, assuming some expenses are going to get incurred, so I do have an option to start taking care of my expenses in the month of, let's say, though I'm talking in the it's still the February, but just for the demo purpose, I'm going to put something in the April. So I got the actual cost of 1000. License due date, I'm going to put in future. Not a good practice, but just for the demo purpose, right? For the April month. This is the process date is going to be where the actuals are going to get incurred. State, I say process, and I will select the cost plan. So here I can actually associate this is going to be the expense against which cost plan. So here I'm selecting the licensing cost one and I'll click on the save button. Okay, because I'm trying to do it on the future month, it is not allowing me. But in summary, you do have an option to create your expense line and tag them against the specific cost plan. So you will always have a view of the plan as well as the actuals. Moving on to the RIDAC, this is a place where you do have an option of one specific view to track all your risk issues, decision actions and all. If you would like to create something new, you can create from this drop down. Then we do have the analytics specific to the project what you are working on. This is out of the box. So here you will see how the overall status looks like, the percentage complete, the number of issues or the write-backs, the stories if you have any, the task by states. Then you do have the status report as well. So here I have created the two status reports, right? So in the status report, it does capture some basic information from the project at the time of creation and then gives you an option to select how you would like to rate the overall status of your project. It can be green, amber, or green, yellow, or red. You can also define against multiple dimensions. How are you performing in terms of the schedule, in terms of the cost, in terms of the resources, and the scope of your project. And depending on that, you can decide how the overall health status looks like for your project. We do have a new component, docs. It is going to help you out in defining any kind of documentation for the specific project. So instead, you go ahead, keep them outside of your system or outside of the service. Now, might be one example in the Excel, in the SharePoint. Instead of doing that, you can actually start putting the things within the docs of the project. So with that, ML, I would like to hand it over to you to talk about the next slides about the resources what we have in place.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that, Shimon. Really appreciate it. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see.
I can see your email
Oh,
mailbox.
how about now?
Yes, all good.
All right, beautiful. All right. Well, I'm excited to talk to you about the training enablement that we have. We've outlined a series of enablement here for you. And again, we will be posting this under our SPM community page. You'll be able to find the recording as well as the PDF with these links for your review and access a few days after the session. But here you'll find some of our top short video series, including our Getting Started with SPM, Demand Management, Project and Program Management, and other video series for you. We also have our product documentation, so please check that out, as well as I mentioned our community, and this is where you'll find all of the things, including the events and any updated articles. So be sure to subscribe on our community, as well as our user groups. And I'll talk a little bit about our user groups, but just a sneak peek, we like to call these SNUGs, ServiceNow user groups, and we have one all over the world. So be sure to check out your local snug in a city near you. And again, you can find more on our community. Now that we've covered a little bit of that, let's talk about how we can make sure that your path to success is backed up by the right expertise and a strong network. First, we're very fortunate to have an incredible expert services team that can bring exclusive insights and best practices to guide you. With experience from hundreds of successful implementations, we make sure that your approach is always aligned with your business goals and making sure that things are value driven every step of the way. We also benefit from a global network of business and technology experts through our trusted partner ecosystem. These partnerships bring industry expertise and pre built solutions that can help accelerate your journey and make sure that your platform evolves as your business grows. And with our co-delivery strategy, you'll have the best of both worlds. So this is our deep platform knowledge combined with our partners' expertise, which ensures a seamless execution, technical excellence, and ultimately real lasting value. As we continue to explore how to ensure success, I also want to highlight something important, and that is being able to build the capabilities of your own team, hence self implement. If your company is looking to skill up on your own implementation team, we've got a wealth of resources designed to empower you. First, we recommend leveraging our Now Learning portal. It's a fantastic place to help your teams build their skills, learn how to use and configure our solutions, and get up to speed quickly. Next, we have our Now Create, which can deliver SPM solutions just like our own experts do. We have a methodology that provides structure so that everyone's aligned and working in the same prescribed manner, driving consistent and successful results, including success packs and other assets to support you every step of the way. And of course, our vibrant SPM community. This is where you can connect, share experiences, and find creative and unique solutions that are fully supported by our SPM capabilities. I mentioned our Snugs, ServiceNow user groups, and be sure to check one out in a city near you. And don't forget to subscribe on our Product Hub page for the latest and greatest updates from product. Now, just as important as having a configured solution and the right network to help with your journey, it's important to make sure that your company is prepared for change in ways of working. And to support this, ServiceNow offers valuable guidance in building your organizational change management OCM plan and helping you craft a business case that's value driven and positions you to gain executive alignment and support. We also provide templates to efficiently communicate those changes throughout your organization, which helps make the transition smoother for everyone. And to ensure that you are on track, we do recommend you take full advantage of our Now Value methodology. This will help you measure progress and align your efforts and your goals to make sure that you focus on what matters the most. And so, kind of covering the foundational steps, I know this is a lot of text heavy, but I just want to briefly touch on how ServiceNow recommends building an effective OCM communication plan. And we've outlined here for you. And this plan should really help define what it is and its role in driving the change, being able to define your target audience and the messaging, as well as what it should include. So, ensuring clear and consistent messaging in terms of what is important and who needs to be involved, right? Making sure those right people are aligned and of course what good looks like, so that you can measure the impact and the success of communications. And as you continue to develop your plan, remember being mindful of our audience. Different personas will be impacted in different ways by the change. So, continue to message, ensure your messaging speaks directly to their purpose and highlighting how crucial their role is in the success of transformation. We've outlined some information here for.
ML, maybe quick
Yes,
one. I think your
yeah.
screen is having a reminder, so you should just dismiss
Oh,
that.
I appreciate that. I'm sorry about that. I should have shut things off. Thanks for letting me know now.
No problem.
Now that you're familiar with the success resources that we offer, I highly recommend taking the next steps. And so we've outlined here the resources again with easy clicks. So everything that I just went over, you'll be able to have access to that once we post this on our community. So be sure to check out these links, including the community and our learning materials that we post, and all the good tools that we have for your journey. And if there's no questions around this aspect, I will open it up for Q&A. And as you're, feel free to in the Q&A feature or jump right on. And as folks are hopping in or asking any questions, I do want to take a quick moment as well to let everyone know that we do have an upcoming vision series where our VP of product will highlight and talk about SPM, as well as Karina Hatfield will talk about our roadmap. We have an exciting customer lineup, as well as other exciting information to share in our vision series, which is upcoming in March. So we hope to see you there. And again, I just want to come back to Q&A. If you're comfortable or have a question you want to go offline and chat with us, feel free. Otherwise, feel free to chat in the Q&A. But we'll just take a moment here.
Yeah, and ML, I think we do have two, I think one suggestion and one question. So maybe I'll try to answer that. One of them, the question is from Rafaela, and I will just put it more summarized. So the question is around the concept where we are using multiple calendars or the multiple schedules. Let me put it in that way. So Rafaela's question is, when we do the resource allocation in the project workspace and the resource management workspace, the issue arises when the platform allocates the entire ATRs to a single user, disregarding their weekly availability. So here, because the platform generic at the time of requesting, making use of a different schedule, versus the resource who is going to work on that has a different schedule which is less than what is requested. So when someone allocates that resource, it basically over allocate the person. So Rafaela, just to answer that, always a good practice in such manner not to do the things in number of hours. Always do the things in the FTE. If you do that in FTE, the time you are going to assign the resource, which is of a less capacity, because the schedule comes with the 25 hours a week, the time you are going to assign a resource, the heat map is going to make it red. And that is what is going to be a trigger to a resource manager to revalidate what is wrong. And in that way, we can avoid associating a resource to a task where they are going to over allocate. But it is one of the complex scenarios, so I do understand. But yeah, if you need more discussion around it, we can have a separate one. Please share your email ID as part of the survey, and we will be happy to get back to you. Or you can reach out to any of your account team member to discuss more on this one.
Great.
Then we do have one from Anna. This is just a suggestion or thought. We are unable to extend the benefit of the PPM to users other than the project manager, as the licensing cost is same for all. We have a huge development and support team who are unable to use PPM for collaboration. Is there an option to have subsidized costs for users who will just use only PPM workspace as users? We have to use other spaces like the Loop and other OS 365 products outside of PPM for this, and this creates a disconnect. ML, more about, I think my understanding is people who are not using. So the specific person of a project manager, but not for others. So what are the recommendations here? To me, it sounds like more of the licensing question, like what are the things we can do? But do you have any insight on this, ML?
Can you just, sorry, you cut out a little bit, Shawan. Can you just paraphrase the question again?
Yeah, so question is around they have a huge development and a support team who are unable to use the PPM just for the collaboration. So the ask is there an option to have a subsidized cost for users who will just use the PPM workspace and not without paying the whole PPM cost, the
Um,
licensing cost? Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to give a false answer, but I would recommend reaching out to the ServiceNow team account just to make sure. I'm not sure what licensing or pricing, but it does sort of sound like that. So I'd recommend reaching out to your ServiceNow account rep and to clarify.
Hey, good. I think with that, I do not see any other open question, at least in the chat. And seems like we are right on time as well,
All right.
unless you have something to add, ML.
Nope, I just wanted to say thank you, everybody. Again, we apologize for the technical mishap that happened. We will go ahead and post this. Give us a few days on our community. It will be under our events page, where our on-demand events, where you can find other on-demand events as well. And we hope to see you at our upcoming Vision Series and other events that we have. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.